The tribe has spoken. Guys, today I want to quickly discuss the interview that was done by MoneyWeb and a gentleman from the FSCA where they spoke about copy trading and signals. Now, we're here to speak about signals alone. For copy trading, we know you need a license. There's no running away from that. But people thought for signals, it is nothing, right? It's like, yeah, it's nothing. So we're going to go straight to where he basically asked this gentleman about signals. And it says here, Gerard is asking the guy now. Gerard, so Jimmy is asking Gerard. Gerard, over the last couple of weeks as well, highlighting the importance of that. Gerard, I want to quickly just clarify on advisory license. The category 1 advisory license as a signal provider, someone who merely suggests the trade or says these are the trades that one should take via a Telegram group, Andile, or via whatever, is that considered advised by the FSCA? And does that mean the person providing the signals requires an advisory license themselves and not just a broker? And Gerard answers, absolutely. Now, I've said this many times, and it was like, yeah, but you can't. But in any case, he says, absolutely, Jimmy. And thank you for the question. It's something that I've seen a bit of a trend, and we are certainly looking at it very carefully. This whole idea of signals. I think in some parts of the industry, there's a misconception that this has got nothing to do with the FSCA, because people will always tell you, yeah, but why must you involve the FSCA when it comes to signals, right? You know that. But if you think about it logically, the law stipulates very clearly that if you give financial advice, and that's advice with a reference to a financial product, you need an advice license. Now, people are still going to come and say, yeah, but it's not supposed to be like that. Any case, so the first thing about that's a category 1, as you mentioned. The first thing about that is you must show that you are able to give other people advice about this financial product. That's not because you've traded a bit for yourself or whatever the case may be. There is a very specific framework for licensing around this, of course. Now, if I give you advice on what insurance you should take out or where you should invest your funds, I need that license on advice. We are certainly looking at entities and individuals doing that, and it will lead to enforcement, right? Be careful, guys. The FSCA are coming. There's a second leg to that. Maybe I should just say, Jimmy, of course, every case is assessed on its own merits. There might be a case out where this does not qualify as advice, but I think what I'm really saying, and I'm sure you agree, is that it is a very dangerous activity to be involved in if you haven't properly cleared in your head and with your advisors whether you require a license. But I would also like to add a second leg. To this that's very important, and will give some context. If you are a type of financial services provider that gives advice, there's other responsibilities that kicks in. An important one, a very important one in our review, and that is the whole issue of suitability. You and I have spoken about it before. The whole issue of suitability, and you're not going to advise a retired person to put their pension in a high risk investment. You're certainly not going to do that. And you are responsible for that as well. To be able to do that, you must go through some effort, and that means you have to sit down with your client, evaluate. Now, if you're an old guy like me, you will take you will take into account that I have a pension fund and maybe a few assets, and there was a lot of talk about that, right? I will leave a link in the comment section below for the full article, but I just wanted to speak to you guys about the signal story, where a lot of people think it is okay to just sell signals and they don't consider that as advice. And because the FSCA has previously handled this case by someone who has offered copy trading services, where someone basically filed a complaint and they said that they have lost their funds. Here you can see the complaint was that I've lost all my money. So, and that was basically due to copy trading there as well. Guys, go read this article, copy and paste it, send it to all of your friends out there. Tell them, die veld, die gaan brand, the fire is gonna burn. Thank you for your time, and as always, cheers for ears. Aibo.